All right. Today we travel all the way to Persia to discover a fragrance that was inspired by the ancient mosque city of Qom in Iran and Nargil smoke pipes, which are pretty much hookah shishas of its orient called Qom Chilom, which means red ash. Now, like the rest of the Stéphane Humbert Lucas 7-7 line or collection, Qom Chilom is a pure parfum, and I believe it has 24% perfume oil. So it's very highly concentrated and it lasts for a very long time. Now, Qom Chilom was launched in 2014 and soon after it got discontinued for some reason. But recently, Stéphane Humbert Lucas said that he will bring it back. So if you guys are a big fan of cherry and kind of a ashy type of a fragrance, which is really interesting, I would definitely get my hand on this as soon as possible. So at the beginning of the video, I showed you guys the bottle and you guys probably didn't pay attention, but there's a meaning behind the painting on this bottle. Now, let me make this zoom in. Hopefully you guys can see it again. Now, when you look at this gorgeous red bottle and the design and painting on it, you will probably not notice that there is a meaning behind this plume on the red lacquered bottle. It is meant to symbolize the imperial peacock throne of the Shahs, the kings of Persia / Iran before the revolution, while the perfume's aromatic woodiness and the subtle smokiness seeks to evoke the ancient rites of the past. Now, at the heart of Qom Chilom is the concept and color palette of red ash, or in French, rouge cendré, woodiness infused with cherries and turned quietly to ash. So let's get to the chords of Qom Chilom and see what we get on the initial spray. All right. So from far away, when I spray it, right away, it's gorgeous. I get these sour cherries, which are sweet and bitter at the same time. But when I bring it close on the initial spray, it's mixed with this black rubber latex kind of a smell. I get this medicinal cherry cough drops type of vibe from this. And again, I sprayed this before, so I know exactly how this is gonna start and how it's gonna dry down. It's multifaceted, it has a life cycle to it. And if you're not a big fan of the opening, don't let that scare you off, because the dry down, literally after half an hour, it gets so gorgeous. But I like it. I like that kind of, it has this camphoric, and I get a good dose of oud in here as well. But it's definitely very camphoric, it's ashy. So I think that comes from that kind of a smell of latex or oud. I don't know what it is that makes it kind of like that. Very interesting. But besides all that stuff, it's definitely a very woody fragrance, definitely fruity, also floral at the same time a little bit, but more fruity. And again, I said it's sweet and bitter at the same time, and it has that signature of Stéphane Humbert Lucas, the dusty and powderiness to the fragrance, which I love. And you get that with all his fragrances. So that's as far as the chords that I get with Qom Chilom on the initial spray. All right, so let's talk about the notes of Qom Chilom, because you get some really interesting notes in here. You get all kinds of different cherries on the top. You have Morello cherry, you got Bigarro cherry, and you got some raspberry on top notes, which makes the fragrance very fruity and very cherry-like, especially on the initial spray. You definitely can smell that. Now, middle notes, you have heliotrope, you got imperial almond, and you got some iris, which I was expecting that because you get that floral signature of Stéphane Humbert Lucas, which makes the fragrance dusty and powdery in it. And then you have blue cedar in there as well in your middle notes. Now in base, you have patchouli, which makes the fragrance kind of earthy and gives that very nice volume to the scent. And then you have a really nice dose of oud in here. You get, interestingly, some thick and you have some barks in here, and then you have that note that I was talking about that I thought it would be in here. You have some latex. Now that's really interesting, which gives that ashy type of a vibe to the scent. And then you have vanilla absolute, which makes the fragrance kind of sweet. But again, there's bitterness because of the latex and bitter almond and all that. And then you have some musk in here as well to make the fragrance kind of musky and make it last very long. So that's as far as the notes goes. Now let's get to the performance and longevity of Qom Chilom. Qom Chilom, actually, interestingly, for being a fruity, floral type of a scent, more fruity actually, more cherry-like type of a scent, it's a very long-lasting fragrance. It lasts for a very, very long time, interestingly, even though it doesn't come off that way. Again, on the initial spray it does, but then when it mellows down, you think it's gonna fade away, but it doesn't, and it lasts for very long. So as far as the performance and longevity, I get about easily like 13, 14 hours on my skin, and then it becomes kind of skin scent. So for performance and longevity, I would definitely give it a high score. So let's talk about the projection sillage. As far as the projection sillage goes, this fragrance, interestingly, projects crazy, and it has an enormous sillage, especially on the initial spray. Now, even though it's highly concentrated, it just goes on for a very long time as far as the projection goes. It projects about 6 feet, and it goes like that for like literally 6-7 hours. And I couldn't believe it, because when I sprayed this on my clothes and even on like a sample card, the next day I came down and I could totally smell it, like in the house. Like I was like, Jesus, this thing is still going. So it's pretty good. So as far as the performance and sillage goes, it would definitely get high score. All right, let's get to compliments. This one, interestingly, gets a lot of compliments, even though the dry down leans a little bit on the feminine side. Don't let that scare you off, because the opening, it's very unisex and it has those harsh notes in it. But yes, the dry down, it's a little bit feminine, but again, it's a gorgeous fragrance, and if you're dressed right and you have the right personality, you get a lot of compliments with this. This is just gorgeous, very beautiful, very unique, and there's something very sensual and seductive about this fragrance. So even for girls, I would love to smell this on a girl. It's just that gorgeous. But again, I don't want to scare off guys. It's not that girly, but there's something about it that I would definitely want to smell this on a girl as well. That's why it's a unisex fragrance. So as far as the compliments goes, it would definitely get a high score. Now let's get to versatility of this scent. This, to me, it can be a versatile scent because of the cherry notes and all that stuff. But I think that, yeah, actually, you know what? You can wear this all year round, even though there's something fresh spicy about it as well. So I would say you can wear this all year round. It's a pretty versatile fragrance. And as far as the occasion goes, actually, it can be your signature scent. It's that type of an easy fragrance to wear. It's really nice. And as far as the versatility goes, I would definitely give it a high score as well. Now, as far as uniqueness goes, this is a very unique cherries type of a scent with oud and latex and all that notes that are really, really rare. So it makes it a very unique scent, and it does have that Stéphane Humbert Lucas signature on it with that dusty and powderiness. So it's a very unique fragrance. So as far as the uniqueness goes, I would definitely give it a high score. So with that being said, we get to the end of my video. That's all I have for Qom Chilom. If you guys own this, let me know in the comment section what's your take on it. Again, if you don't own it, if you can get a sample or whatever, it would be great. It's going to be very hard because it's been discontinued, and I hope he brings it back as he mentioned. And if you own it, you're very lucky, because this is very unique cherry type of a scent with that latex and oud and that signature of Stéphane Humbert Lucas. Very interesting. And that's it, you guys. Love you guys. Thank you so much. And hopefully I'll see you guys soon with another video. Peace and ciao.